Hello, and welcome to my second episode or vlog on my way to this men's physique competition here in September. Just wanted to make my second video, probably still gonna suck, and just kind of give everyone an update, what's been going on. Haven't made it, it's been I think about a month or a little over a month since I made the first video. But I just wanted to give a little bit of an update, kind of let everyone know where I'm at, how things have been going, what I've learned lately, and then kind of talk about some macros, talk about what I've been eating, kind of my diet. I am going to, or I plan on making a meal prep video. I was going to talk about meal prep today as well, some of the supplements. But I was going to, make some other videos here in the near future, tailored more so towards meal prep and supplementation and all that kind of stuff. So today is more or less just, I guess, more of an update, kind of let everyone know where I'm at, how things have been going. I am in the middle of meal prepping right now. I've got some asparagus in the oven, got about 9 minutes left, so I will try and make this quick. But I guess let's just talk about, so since the last video, my first video, that was kind of right when I started with Darren over at Pro Physiques. I think I talked about some of my macros a little bit in that first video. Definitely was doing things a little differently than how most people would, probably just because it was my first time, didn't really know any better. So since then, he has given me some diet plans to go off of. It's helped. I mean, I don't live or die by this, but it has helped. I do try to follow it as much as possible. If I do alter anything on it, it's safe. It's like, I'll substitute, like if he says eat chicken, I'll substitute another lean meat, or if it's, a carb, I'll substitute a different carb, but as long as it's the same, type, I don't get crazy and like substitute like, a burger for a meal or anything like that. It's definitely still clean. But I definitely know enough to be able to make small changes and not have it affect the diet that much. So, I think the first video I mentioned, I was taking in right around 2200, 2300 calories, and I kind of mentioned where my, protein and carbs and fats were. I have, we did talk about, Darren and I talked about the macros. I definitely was probably taking in less carbs than I really should have been at the time, or needed to be eating. So we did start increasing everything, so then we could drop back down as we get closer to the show. So since that video, we started increasing my carbs. We increased my carbs up to roughly like 120 to 140 range, and then we went one step further and we went even higher carbs, like 130, 150, and then now I have some days where I'll take in like 170, 180. Now I've started carb cycling, so I can definitely talk more about that. For a few weeks I was as we were going up with the carbs and the calories, I was, of course, eating more. We started switching out protein shakes for whole meals. That seemed to help. I added rice into my diet. I wasn't eating rice before. Before this, I was kind of anti-carbs, whatever you want to call, carbs are the enemy. I know carbs get a bad rap. For the most part, I've kind of learned through just what Darren's been telling me to eat and what I've actually been eating, that I can do certain things like drop weight while eating carbs. It's definitely made my muscles look fuller, that sort of thing. So now I've kind of started to go back down slightly, not much though. So for instance, right now, I am on my low carb days. I'm taking in roughly 90 to 110 carbs. My calories are right at around 1855, 1900 calories. Protein has definitely dropped down. I think before I mentioned I was taking in like 1.5 to 2 grams. Is probably a little bit too much, possibly, depending on your thought process. So my protein intake has come down a little bit. Right on my low carb days, it's right around 250 grams of protein, which is roughly, I don't know, what's that, like 1.25 or something per pound. And then my carbs, like I mentioned, were 90 and 100, in the range of 90 to 110. Fat is between 50 and 60 grams, right around 50 grams of fat. And then the calories were roughly 1855. So that's on my low carb days. I spread my meals. I do about 5 or 6 meals throughout the whole day. I spread them out roughly 2 to 3 hours in between. I mean, if I'm getting hungry after like an hour and a half, maybe I'll eat. I do try to wait and get to like roughly closer to the 2-hour mark. But for instance, just to give you an idea of what I'm actually eating, for breakfast I'll typically do roughly 7 egg whites with 40 grams of oats. I just use the regular, oats from the store, like the 1 minute oats, Quaker oats from the store. Egg whites, you can either, of course, cook your egg whites using like the egg whites. I've kind of been, sometimes I'll do egg whites, either just 100% egg whites or whole eggs, and I'll take out the yolk. I have been drinking muscle eggs. I don't know if some of you may be familiar with muscle eggs. I've been doing that in the morning for more because of lack of time. I just haven't had a whole lot of time in the morning. So I'll just drink muscle eggs. It's actually pretty good. I kind of like it. I do a cup of that, which is like 26 grams of protein, and then when I get to work I'll do my 40 grams of oats. Meal 2 is usually 6 ounces of ground turkey with some veggies, about a cup of veggies, or 3 ounces of veggies. Ground turkey, I like to mix it in with the Frank's buffalo sauce. It's there's really not much in it other than sodium, or there is nothing in it other than sodium, so it's not unhealthy or anything like that. Meal 3 is more around lunchtime. Lately I've been doing chicken, 8 ounces of chicken. With that meal I get 1 cup of brown rice, and then another cup of veggies. My veggies I usually cycle through either green beans or broccoli. I'm cooking asparagus right now, so I'm going to be adding asparagus. And as I get closer to the competition, I was going to rely more and more on asparagus. Meal 4, I'll do before I go to the gym, and that's again 6 ounces of either ground turkey, either lean or extra lean, or chicken. I've pretty much gotten away from most other types of meats. I am going to be adding in fish here shortly, like tilapia or mahi-mahi or cod, or any of the white fishes. I've tried to start staying away from like salmon, red meat for the most part. I mean, maybe I'll do like red meat like once a week or a couple times a week, or salmon once a week. But generally speaking, like your red meats, unless you go with like the lean or extra lean, of course they're going to have more fat. When you take in more fat, of course you're taking more calories, so sometimes it's kind of hard to stay within your calorie range if you're eating foods with higher fat content, such as salmon, or bison's another good one. I've tried to, I was eating bison. I tried to start staying away from bison. I really like the flavor of bison though, so I've got other health benefits. So for the most part now I'm kind of going exclusively with like turkey, either lean or extra lean, chicken, and then your white fishes. And as we get closer to the competition, and then specifically into that, within that 4-week range before the show, then I'll probably go down to just chicken and white fish, like mahi-mahi or tilapia, stuff that's low in calories, that sort of thing. So let me grab these real quick here. I don't burn them. So there's some baked asparagus, and that I just did for 425 for like, I think it was 12 minutes. So where was I here? So that meal 3 was before the gym, or meal 4 I guess it would be before the gym. After the gym I'll do a protein shake. Lately I've been doing 1 scoop of the Isopure, let's see here, Isopure hydrolyzed whey. This one is the smooth banana flavor. I really like the orange dreamsicle flavor. It's bomb. I highly recommend it. Or I'll do like a gold standard. He has me down to 1 scoop of protein. Before I was, for one of my for meal 3, usually I was doing 2 scoops of whey protein, Optimal Nutrition. I had to supplement that with the 6 ounces of turkey or chicken, whatever, to replace the protein shake. So then post-workout, like I mentioned, I'll have 1 scoop. I am going to start, or actually today I did, replacing the post-workout meal with an actual meal. So probably another like 6 ounces of the lean meat, whether it's turkey, chicken, fish, whatever. On my high carb days, I may end up staggering my carbs before and after the gym. I generally eat my carbs earlier in the morning, like in the morning and at lunch, and then I taper off, so I'm not taking carbs in, later in the day. Meal 5 is another 8 ounces of a lean meat. On here I got chicken, and then another 1 cup of veggies. And yeah, and that's my low carb day. On my high carb days, pretty much the same stuff. For breakfast, still the 7 egg whites, 40 grams of oats. Meal 2, essentially I just add in sweet potatoes, so 6 ounces of the lean meat, 1 cup of veggies. It actually says 1 to 2 cups. I usually just do 1 cup veggies. 3 ounces of sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. Tons of health benefits. They taste delicious. Meal 3, 8 ounces of, again, a lean meat, chicken. That's where on my high carb, on my low carb days, I do 1 cup of brown rice. Still on the high carb days, I still do 1 cup of brown rice, but I add another cup of brown rice to one of the other meals. That's really the only difference, is just an extra cup of brown rice on the high carb meal on the high carb days, and then on my other meals that don't have the brown rice, I get the sweet potatoes. So that's really the difference, is you're just adding sweet potatoes on the meals that you don't have the rice, and then the meals that you do have the rice, you don't get the sweet potatoes. Everything else is pretty much the same. And on the high carb days, still roughly about 256 grams of protein. Carbs are in the range of 170 to 190 carbs. Fats still around 50 to 60, 53. And then my calories creep up a little bit to roughly around 2,200. So that's a higher carb day. I went over the low carb days. Those are my macros currently, and I've just started cycling those, carb cycling daily. So I'll do a low carb and then a high carb, low carb, high carb, and just cycle that every day. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. I did go on vacation for July 4th. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I was kind of out of it for a good couple weeks. Gained about 10 pounds. I definitely cheated. I definitely didn't do very well. Drank, ate a ton of sugar. Had ice cream. It was awesome. I love it. And then for once I got back, I went to San Diego. Once I got back, like the week I got back, and then the following week I was out of it. I was lethargic, low energy. I'm not sure what happened there, but now I'm back on track. A typical day for me, I usually, and I know it sounds crazy, I usually wake up around 4:30 in the morning. I'll do fasted cardio for roughly 10 to 15 minutes. Sometime I had to actually rein the cardio in. Darren wanted me to pull back on the cardio a little bit, so then when we get close to the show I can ramp that up. So I try to not do too much more than 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minute range in the morning. Nothing crazy. It's not HIIT. It's I kind of just get on a bike and start pedaling for a while, or I'll get on the elliptical and do that, and then I go to work, and that's when I get to eat pretty consistently as far as timing goes, because it's a desk job, so I'm usually at a desk for the most part. I leave work at roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I go to the gym after when I get home. So I'm usually getting to the gym around 3-ish, 3:30. Then I go back to working. I have a couple jobs here, so I do some more work, but I'm pretty strict with my eating, my timing on my eating. So that's pretty on point. My diet's pretty on point. My working out, everything's pretty on point. I don't drink. Outside of when I went on vacation for 4th of July, I haven't really been drinking. So it's definitely tough, but it's once you don't drink for a while, you kind of get used to it, and it's not that hard. So yeah, that's kind of it right now. This video I think it's getting a little bit too long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now. But I do plan on trying to make more videos more frequently. I know this is kind of a long time period in between this first video and the second video. I've been busy. It was hard for me to get the first video up, so I definitely need to learn how to do this editing stuff and uploading to YouTube stuff on my Mac here, because once I can learn that a little bit better, then I should be able to make this a lot easier and more frequently. So yeah, that's it right now. I have been working on my posing. I can kind of hit the lats a little bit here. It's still working on it, but kind of had to learn how to flex the lats without flexing the other muscles. So still work in progress, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And I think for the next video, I'm going to try to do a meal prep video, just so you guys can see how I meal prep and all that kind of stuff. Maybe talk about supplements, or maybe even make a supplements video. So that's it for now, and I'll see you guys later.